This is Letty Sines from Laredo Good News Political Campaign Promotions, and I am honored to be here with the lovely Cynthia Mares, who is running for Webb County Treasurer. Hello, Mrs. Mares. How are you today?
Doing very well, thank you, Letty.
Yes, ma'am, and I have a few questions I would like to ask you, and the first one is, if you become County Treasurer, what are some of the goals you would pursue?
I believe that any time anyone takes over an office or steps into a new department, Letty, the first thing that a good manager does is to always assess and evaluate what is already going on within that department.
Yes, ma'am.
And then take a step back and then make that evaluation become a term of a strategy or a roadmap for any type of improvements that may be needed in that particular department so as the department can move forward.
Yes, ma'am. And also, how can your past experiences and projects benefit your position or office as Webb County Treasurer?
I am very blessed to count with a very good, background in terms of education. I'm a Laredo product, born and raised here in Laredo, attended Laredo schools, and I was very fortunate in obtaining a bachelor's degree in business and finance, as well as a master's degree in business and finance.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And I think that is very essential for this position of treasury, coupled obviously with the work experience. You can have your degrees, your education, but again, how do you translate that into work experience that will give you that foundation and that background for the position that you are seeking? Throughout the trajectory of my life, over the last 40 years that I have been, in this community working hard, I have been very involved in a lot of community projects and community agencies. But at the same time, I've also been very blessed in holding leadership positions in the work that I have been, submitted to. One of those is the fact that currently, for that matter, I am the Director of Administrative Services for Webb County. And right now I have under my division 5 different components. One of them is the Workers' Comp Division, the other one is the Risk Management Division. We have Human Resources, I have Employee Benefits, and of course I have Safety and General Liability. All of that I think has helped me to prepare for this position because I have to manage all those funds, I have to manage all those monies, and I have to make sure that I am in compliance with all the policies and the regulations that come, with those monies.
Yes, sir.
And that is also a very key element of this position of County Treasurer. The County Treasurer is the keeper of the monies of the taxpayers of this great county of ours. It is not so much in taking care of the monies that they are well spent. It is also very important that they are well invested. Currently that office, looks at over $19 million of revenue monies that come into the county.
Wow.
So that is a task of that treasurer to ensure that those monies are well invested to earn interest that will, be put back into those coffers.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the treasurer has to also ensure that payments are made and, disbursed in a timely manner. Another major component of that office is payroll. The county right now counts with over 1,400 employees, and that payroll is done on a biweekly basis. So you have to ensure that you have a process, that you have a system that is effective and efficient to ensure that that payroll comes out, again, on a timely basis, but more importantly, on an accurate basis.
Yes, ma'am.
And so there's a lot of automation that is still needed in that office. A lot of that work is being done manually. And I think that this is an injustice to the taxpayer because we are not spending properly those monies because we are bringing in overtime for these employees when a simple plan, sit down and look at your good strategy and develop a 3 to 5 year plan and that will bring in the new technologies and that can help you work more effectively and efficiently. I think that is an answer. That has to be now. We have to take that task and convert that office into a more efficient office.
Yes, ma'am. Wow. Well, those are very important issues for all of the voters in our community, and thank you for all your efforts that your your goals and everything. And I also wanted to ask you, even though maybe you've already mentioned some, but are there any other specific changes or improvements that you would also work on as county treasurer?
Well, I do want to focus on the fact that I think that going into that office, you must have a work plan. And I want to emphasize that, and I don't think it can be overemphasized. You need to have a work plan.
Yes.
You need to build those strategic goals, 3 to 5 year goals.
Yes.
You need to sit down and say, where does the county want to be 3 to 5 years from now?
Yes.
When it comes to technology, when it comes to the efficiency of, this particular office in meeting the demands and the needs of the taxpayers. And so that is very key. Also key to that is management of the personnel within your office. I've always, my belief and my mantra has always been, you've got to work hard, but you've got to work effectively and you've got to work smart.
Yes, ma'am.
But you also have to, take care of people. You also have to be fair. You have to treat people with dignity and with respect.
Yes.
Whether it's your own employees or whether it's each and every other employee that comes to your office or even the general public that may come and stop by to ask questions.
Yes,
About what is it that you are doing in that office.
Oh, yes.
I think the transparency of that office is also a very important issue. The taxpayers, yes, there's a website, yes, you can go in there and check and maybe look at financials, but a lot of that is very technical to, the common person to say, I don't understand what that balance sheet is or what it's telling me. How do I know where my money is being spent at or if it's being done properly or not? And I think one of my goals would be to make that a little bit more simpler for people to understand.
Yes.
For the transparency to be a little bit more in layman's terms, something that people in the community, anyone can click that button and say, oh, I understand this month, this is where the money went, this is where, how it was spent, and this is how my money was invested, but in very simple terms so that all the taxpayers can understand what is going on in that office.
Yes, ma'am. So they can feel that they can personally get more involved, which is very important,
Very much
so that we can see, what we need to see for our community. And what I also like to ask you, Mrs. Cynthia Mares, why do you think that you are the best candidate for the position of Webb County Treasurer?
I think because as I wanted to mention, and I know that people that know me know that I have an extensive work background and experience in managing departments, in running departments, and managing multi-million-dollar budgets.
Wow.
I think another key element that makes me very well qualified is that I serve on the Board of Trustees of our Laredo Community College. I am very proud and honored to be sitting on that board, and I've sat on that board for a little over 15 years.
Congratulations.
But I am even more honored to be the current president of this board.
Wow.
And I have been the president for the past 3.5 years.
Wow.
And I think that also speaks volumes to the issues of leadership.
Yes.
And the knowledge of finances and of management. Because
Definitely.
as trustees, we are responsible to the citizens of this county for the monies that they entrust us with.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it is our responsibility to make sure that budget is done properly and that the monies are well spent. So that, coupled with my education, I feel is the strongest characteristics for taking on this new position.
Yes, ma'am. And so basically you've proven that you can be trusted with large amounts of money.
Yes, ma'am.
Is what I'm hearing. That's
Yes,
what I'm
ma'am.
hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much, ma'am. Good luck, Mrs. Cynthia Mares, on your campaign for Webb County Treasurer. And it's been a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you. It was my pleasure to have been here with you too.
Thank you, ma'am. This is Letty Sainz reporting from Laredo Good News.